Hey there, it's Ray, and welcome to the In a Nutshell series where I try to make short summaries of games and other media. I just turned 20, so that's cool. So to celebrate my birthday, I'm gonna go ahead and do RE Cereal Box's 19th birthday special, released 2 days after my birthday in 2023. This is a movie I made to, well, celebrate my 19th birthday. I could have made a short video, but I decided to go all out for this one and work on this 113-minute film, which took me at least a month and a half to finish. During production, I'd also asked 2 of my friends to help with some of the voice acting in the movie, specifically for 2 characters, Noobly and Square. Square is from a show I made back in 2022 called Unconventional Geometry. Bro, I still haven't worked on the 5th episode. It's been 2 years. Anyways, let's summarize this. The movie starts with the logos being destroyed. Ray, that's me, is walking down a long room known as the activation room, where he reaches 2 buttons under the number 19. He presses these buttons, causing the lights on the number and walls to start flickering various colors, with disturbing images flashing on the screen rapidly. It then all cuts to the movie's title, and Ray briefly talks about what his hobbies are. He is then cut off and told to slow down by another Ray. Believe it or not, this Ray is important and relevant to the plot. But do you know what's irrelevant to the plot? At least 2/3 of the entire movie, because it mostly consists of me playing games and doing stuff like drawing and making music. The segment where I make music is literally 8 minutes long. According to certain calculations, if you remove all of these parts, you're looking at about 39 minutes of relevant plot material. Anyways, back to summarizing. 2 hours of playing one of meme_Destroyer7222's songs in Osamania has taken a rather disturbing toll on Ray's emotional stability. So as soon as he gets a full combo on the beat map, he tells Meme what he thinks about the song. Then he falters. Not sure if he's doing okay there. He starts unleashing his inner demons on Meme, essentially telling him that he doesn't belong in this movie.
My movie is supposed to be more.
Right now, Ray is alternating between his normal self and his evil self, the latter being known as Evil SL in this movie, whom I'll refer to as Evil Ray. The deep guttural screaming Ray does in this part was actually mostly genuine. One could say that I was taking out my frustration on Meme, or me, and that I was criticizing myself for deciding to create these flaws. It then cuts to a technical difficulty screen, which glitches out. The first of these screens, which is the one you just saw, might come off as goofy and absurd. Anyways, it cuts to a little stick figure guy, named the Fellow Traveler, moving forward in the cart. He approaches a gate, which opens, expelling bursts of light as it does so. A silhouette with the exact same hairstyle as Ray goes through the gate and greets FT, asking him what brings him to the intergalactic tunnel of mystery, which is what the gate leads through. FT wants to know why he's in this cart and was apparently eating a grilled cheese before the whole cart incident.
You magnificent fool.
The gatekeeper tells FT that his answers are through the Gate of Mystery. FT goes through and winds up looking like Sankofa Legend from Roblox. He goes to a keypad, types in the code, and goes through the door that opens, entering what looks like the activation room from the beginning of the movie. And now he's in his cart again in a white void approaching a canvas? Sure. Okay, movie. Later, Slimeboy inadvertently causes Ray to go full Evil Ray on him simply for existing, which prompts Meme to forcefully drag him away off-screen. Meme slaps Ray and Ray is back to his normal self until Slimeboy re-enters the scene. Hi there! It cuts to another technical difficulty screen, which then fades to a scene showing FT in the canvas, with his surroundings now a fiery hellscape. These surroundings get redder and darker when the gatekeeper shows his true colors and reveals himself to be Evil Ray. He then kills FT. Evil Ray has established himself to be extremely problematic. After a 4-episode showcase of the most unconventional of geometry, a session of getting over it in Roblox, and a very good line rider track that is just about perfectly synced to the movie's trailer music, Ray suddenly hears a voice.
You could say I'm interested individual.
Turns out the voice belongs to Flying Kunai. He and his friends, Noobly and Nubius, came to visit. And may I tell you, a certain friend of mine was very glad to reprise her role as Noobly.
Please, Nubius. This is not how we greet people.
I don't think anyone can replace that. They do a very awesome job of voicing the dude, and I appreciate that. After a Red Remover session, which currently has almost half of 100,000 views, and a Chrome Music Lab remix session, Ray, Flying Kunai, and Meme have a discussion regarding Meme's heterochromia. After a while, Flying Kunai is frustrated and confused and leaves the scene, condemning the two for being confusing, prompting Evil Ray to attempt to kill him. There's a lot that has happened after this. Ray is shown a picture of Evil Ray and suffers an anxiety attack. Meme tries to expel Evil Ray and succeeds, but it backfires when they are teleported to a dark void and verbally attacked, but Ray subdues him with the power of memes. For some reason, continuously being harassed by robots in Adventure Forward 2 causes Ray to rage into his evil self and sees Meme when the latter attempts to leave. Ray and Meme are trapped in a cage, being antagonized by Evil Ray, who is then subdued by Ray, having had enough of Evil Ray, screaming at him to go away. Later, Ray proceeds to go to a tunnel emitting rainbow light, telling Meme that he he has to do this in order to stop Evil Ray from interfering with his channel. Yes, the channel you are watching right now has lore! This is then cut short by Evil Ray, who proceeds to harass Ray and tells him he doesn't deserve a happy ending. He threatens to hurt him, tells him, or maybe us, to run, and needlessly subjects us to an unpleasant slideshow. Then there's me over-exaggerating my excitement of getting a Nintendo Switch, which marks the first Nintendo console I've ever owned, rather than used. Evil Ray has a chat with a glowing red face, who, after Evil Ray says something offhanded, reveals himself as Essence. This fills Flying Kunai with dread, and he leaves the room when Ray and Meme try to comfort him. Later, Nubius confronts the two and has a discussion about Evil Ray and his connections with Essence. When the discussion is finished, Nubius leaves, and the two figure out what to do next. Then Meme starts glitching, his words unable to be heard by Ray.
Meme, I don't know what you're saying!
This was caused by Evil Ray, who guilt trips him and claims that he's trying to protect Ray. Suddenly, everything starts shaking and the two look around in confusion. Evil Ray then states that Ray is dreaming, but not really. Ray wakes up in the activation room, which is now flashing red and breaking down. Panicking, he runs to the exit, types in the code, and leaves the room. He approaches Meme in the rainbow tunnel and announces that he has to go through it in order to stop Evil Ray. Meme glumly watches on as Ray goes through the tunnel, and later he's looking through a checklist Ray gave him. Suddenly, a guy wearing interesting clothing glitches into the room, introducing himself as RE Cereal Box from the Distorted Geometric World, shocking Meme and Slime Boy.
What the?
This is the character I'm using right now. Distorted Geometric World is one of my albums that will be released about 2 weeks after this movie. Some visual effects during the credits show that Evil Ray is still around. A post-credit scene shows Flying Kunai, also referred to by Jack, being stopped by Alex, a nod to the very first scene in the Flying Kunai series.
Just where do you think you're going?
Jack says that he was going to see Ray, to which Alex responds that he went to do something. The movie ends with DGW Ray glitching into the room and introducing himself, much to the two stick figures' surprise. Well guys, this has been in a nutshell. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you next time.